Hi, our agency is KMAT. My name is Kelsey Hyde.
I'm Kay McGough.
I'm Megan Krishnan.
I'm Melissa Lynn.
I'm Taylor Griffin.
And I'm Mariana Holmbrecht.
So for our overview introduction, Black and Hooded was founded by Brian Allen and Anthony Wright in March 2017. The hashtag was created to show the world that Black students not only exist, but graduate. The hashtag began as a movement, but soon later, Allen and Wright decided to take it a step further and make it a nonprofit. So for our scholarship history, an important aspect of Black and Hooded is the scholarship. The organization has raised approximately $2,000 in scholarship money by donations and Black and Hooded merchandising. To further share the scholarship, Black and Hooded has used social media platforms such as Twitter and Instagram, as well as the hashtag. In 2017, the organization granted 4 recipients with a $500 scholarship. In 2018, they did the exact same thing. Currently, Black and Hooded has been seeking innovative ways to increase donation funding. The culture of the organization has been continuously changing. Black and Hooded has no official mission statement and is still in the process of becoming an official nonprofit. The organization hopes to find a consistent funding method that isn't solely dependent on donations and to provide more scholarships at a greater value. With both co-founders' experience of being Black graduate students themselves, Black and Hooded has evolved and further strived to eliminate the negative connotation of being hooded through the means of education. For the publics, Black and Hooded has had a positive impact on the public nationwide by encouraging them to embrace their true identities. In 2018, Black and Hooded has been active for 2 academic years, making the organization still new to the public eye. Although the organization has won no awards, Black and Hooded has been recognized by news publications on being socially responsible and inspirational. Black and Hooded is the first nonprofit to use the Black Excellence Movement to support academic pipeline for students nationally and internationally. While our client has no direct competitors, organizations such as Gates Millennium Scholarship and Rhodes Scholarship and many more are indirect competitors. Unintentionally, Black and Hooded has become a gateway for Black students to go above and beyond within the Black community. The organization has continued to spread awareness by word of mouth, news publications, email, and as stated before, social media networking. The scholarship applications are then viewed by both co-founders and a board of directors. Recipients have taken the scholarship and its meaning into the real world and have strived to make an impact on the community.
Black and Hooded has strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Some of the strengths include the participants, their database of graduates, and they're creating connections between Black students. Their public perception is also a benefit because it creates positive associations for that organization. Finally, their evolution is a strength. They're able to grow, they started as a hashtag, and they're continuing on into a business. Some of their weaknesses include funding. They have a lack of funding, and they're not recognized as a nonprofit with a 501c, which cuts into their budget. They also need to bolster public awareness. Both the key publics and the public as a whole do not know very much about them. Finally, experience is something that they can work towards. They don't have a designated public relations person and no full-time staff. Black and Hooded also has unique opportunities as this business. No other nonprofit grabs this specific area as well because they have such a narrow key public. Additionally, they're growing, and so they can increase their social media interactions and gain more traction. Finally, they have an opportunity for the public. Publics are interested in learning more and they want a call to action, so Black and Hooded can capitalize on that. There are some threats to Black and Hooded, like other nonprofits, ones that have a larger scale, provide more funding, or offer additional programs. There's also an issue with relevance to donors and to keeping graduation in the forefront of people's minds year-round so that they can continue to raise money for the scholarships.
In-depth interviews allowed us to take a deeper look into the target audience's attitudes, perceptions, and behaviors. In-depth interviews are important for gathering information about knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors of our key publics. The population of interest were African Americans, graduate students, students that have already graduated and are wanting to pursue graduate degrees. Basic demographic questions that were placed first included name, age, gender, employment status, if the interviewee had received or is receiving their undergraduate degree, and if they are involved in extracurriculars or have any volunteer work. The next questions that were asked were about the knowledge of Black and Hooded. Some questions that were asked were, what information do you know or wish you knew about Black and Hooded? And how do you think the public awareness of Black and Hooded will help increase scholarship programs for participants? The next questions we asked were asked about their media behaviors. Some questions that were asked were which media platforms they feel most comfortable using and how many hours per day they spend on these platforms. The final set of questions were about the perceptions of Black and Hooded, including their attitudes towards the nonprofit, the hashtag, and the scholarship. We found that the public was unaware of Black and Hooded before the interview, therefore there was a lack of knowledge. The audience wanted to know more about the accessibility of their scholarships, and they wanted to see more testimonials. Spreading the word about the organization is important because people are willing to interact with the organization if they know more about it.
Next, we conducted focus groups to answer the research questions of how can Black and Hooded improve the organization's current and future fundraising messaging, and what are the effects of social media messaging campaigns on donation behavior? To answer these questions, we wanted our focus group sample to consist of people most likely to donate to nonprofits. Participants were asked to review and analyze social media posts by Black and Hooded on both Twitter and Instagram. They were then asked categorical questions about the messages. First, their overall feeling about the messages, in particular attributes of the messages that attracted their attention or turned them away. Next, their understanding of the messages and if there was any missing information. Throughout the focus group, a few major themes emerged. One, everyone loved Black and Hooded's mission and what they were trying to achieve, but no one was aware of the organization prior to the focus groups. Two, it is unclear to the public what Black and Hooded means. In fact, many people are unaware of what it means to be hooded in terms of graduation in general. Three, messages lacked relevant information about the organization's cause. Many participants said that some posts resembled advertisements more so than they did opportunities to donate. And four, content was sometimes visually scattered and unmemorable, thus disencouraging the public to donate or share the content with others.
So to further understand the public's viewpoint of the organization at a larger scale, we administered a survey about Black and Hooded. This examined the public's interest and non-interest in the organization. We used an online survey versus face-to-face or telephone for a better response rate, and this allowed participants to answer at their own leisure with honest and reliable responses due to the confidentiality aspect. This also allowed us to obtain a large quantity of responses from a diverse group of people. The survey allowed KMAT to gain a deeper understanding of the thoughts, opinions, and values of the public based on their likelihood to interact with the organization. The survey was separated by knowledge, perception, attitudes, behaviors, and demographics. Our questions were written in a specific order so we could visually see how the public perceives Black and Hooded's purpose, donation drive, scholarship, social media, and public benefits. By placing knowledge at the beginning of the survey, we prevented any bias or perception altering of Black and Hooded by ensuring the questions gave the participant information on the organization and determined the amount of knowledge the volunteer had before continuing with the rest of the survey. The next sections, perceptions, attitudes, and behaviors, ease the participants into answering more in-depth questions, giving a better idea of what the meaning behind the organization is. The last section included questions about the participants' demographics. 1,100 people participated in the survey, all ranging from 18 to 72 years of age, where most participants were female, white, and Christian. The sample was given as a volunteer method where our agency sent out the survey to people we knew on various social media platforms, which then grew by the participants recruiting more relevant candidates to take the survey by sharing the survey and asking other people to take it. The demographics measured gender, race, religion, school completed, employment status, marital status, number of children, household income, occupation, and home state. By utilizing multiple choice and offering no open-ended questions, we gained efficient and measurable answers, and it allowed a quick understanding of the questions being asked. The demographics were our independent variable because the participants' demographics affected the answers submitted for the various other constructs. The dependent variables were knowledge, perceptions, attitudes, behaviors towards the organization, and media behaviors. We utilized multiple choice and a semantic differential scale from 1 to 7, which would be, for example, rating Black and Hooded from ordinary to distinguished. We also used a series of agree and disagree statements to measure attitudes like trust, control, commitment, and satisfaction. Ordinal level scaled questions about the likelihood of donating or volunteering for Black and Hooded were also utilized, with the point scale ranging from extremely unlikely to extremely likely. These tactics allowed a unique way to measure the current relevance to the public rather than the intrinsic value to the public. We were able to create statistically meaningful, quantifiable data.
For content analysis, we created a code book to better understand Black and Hooded's social media interactions. Approximately 300 posts from Twitter and 56 posts from Instagram were coded. Because Black and Hooded is a new organization, all of the Instagram posts were able to be coded.
The unit of analysis was the social posts for Black and Hooded over a 6-month period. We measured 23 elements, including the use of photos, graphics, biographies, hashtags, and more. The code identifiers in the book were the number 1 if the element was present in the social media post, and the number 2 if not present. Likes, shares, comments, hashtags, and replies were given the number received. In order to make sure the elements were consistent, definitions appeared after each question in the code book, where information could be interpreted in more than one way. For the perception and reality findings, the agency used SPSS statistics to run factor analysis and the reliability test. The questions were the independent variables, and the dependent variables were the attitudes towards Black and Hooded. We also used an analysis of variance test, or ANOVA, to examine survey respondents' current perceptions of Black and Hooded. The perceptions data was then divided into 6 categories of trust, control, and mutuality, commitment, satisfaction, communal relationships, and exchange relationships. For the findings for perceptions and attitudes, for example, for race, Black participants, which was a 53% average, were more trusting of Black and Hooded than all of the other races. For gender, female participants on a 45% average were more trusting of Black and Hooded than men and participants that preferred not to answer.
Our results from the various methods of research we conducted shows areas where Black and Hooded excel and areas where they have opportunities to grow. One such area for growth is in the organization's general public knowledge of the organization and its goals. A large majority of the people interviewed and surveyed were not aware of Black and Hooded beforehand. However, after learning about their mission and purpose, the participants were supportive. We also asked participants to tell us about their media usage and engagement. Our goal was to learn about the public's likelihood to engage with and share Black and Hooded's merchandise, website, and social media accounts. The responses showed that the public favors social media interaction with Black and Hooded. Furthermore, our content analysis showed that Twitter posts about merchandise received the most interaction, and Instagram posts with graphics received the most interaction. Twitter is the best platform to ask questions on, and posts with the hashtag Black and Hooded have more public engagement. These aforementioned findings have implications for how Black and Hooded should interact with their key publics moving forward. Because young people are more likely to use Instagram and Twitter, it's more appropriate to share scholarship application information on those sites. Facebook is more popular with the donation population, baby boomers, so Black and Hooded should post information about how to donate there. In addition, the organization should promote themselves heavily, since researchers show that people are willing to learn more and are more likely to act when they have more information available. The influence of media, promotion, and communication all have contributed to Black and Hooded's growth. Key publics, channels, and media, messaging, and strategy were all considered throughout the process in an effort to hone in on the areas that needed improvement. Through focus groups and interviews, the participants underscored the platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook were great places to begin the process of spreading awareness. Twitter and Instagram appealed to millennials and Generation Z, whereas Facebook was popular among baby boomers. Utilizing these platforms to showcase the website's link to encourage seeking more information about the aspiring nonprofit is key. Humanizing the message relayed through each platform, through testimonials, for example, gives the audience a better idea of the impact of the organization and what they can do to make the meaning behind Black and Hooded. Utilizing events and merchandise were seen as secondary to social media platforms due to the participants' lack of knowledge on the organization. Focusing on messaging and communication through social media is a great first step in reaching a large enough audience that would be interested in attending events and putting money toward merchandise. From the communication and message analysis results, we were able to determine which content attracts more attention and causes the most engagement. Researchers found that posts containing the hashtag Black and Hooded received an average of 4 times more likes than posts without the hashtag. Furthermore, many focus group and in-depth interview participants liked the hashtag and stressed the importance of its consistent use across platforms. Additionally, we found that posts containing information about the scholarship application, donation, or the website received significantly more shares than posts without. Through sharing, Black and Hooded is able to reach a larger and more diverse group of people without spending any extra time or money. Therefore, we suggest that Black and Hooded continues to post content pertaining to the website, donations, and the scholarship application. Black and Hooded should refrain from posting screenshots and identical posts across multiple platforms, as it was found that these posts proved to be ineffective. A common theme found when conducting focus groups and in-depth interviews was that people wanted to interact with Black and Hooded by reading testimonials of Black graduate students and being able to put faces to names. Highlighting these testimonials on the website is a great way to encourage people to both donate and apply for the scholarship by creating a more personal connection through emotional testimonies of former recipients.